この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I am Lord T of House Boo. No, I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Yu Hakusho. We are on episodes 71 and 72. We just found out some interesting things that I'm sure will lead into all of the plot, so let's talk about those. We spent the last couple of episodes in a sort of weird battle, very unique battle, very enjoyable battle of wits and stuff against these three dudes who are really into territories. I don't know if we have like a name for them yet. The territory squad, the groundskeepers, the people who like land. I don't know. The land barons. Capitalist pig. No. We met this squad of three, and by met I mean they kidnapped Yusuke with weird shadow powers, and then we delved into their lair where we found lots of spooky things going on, like word games, terrifying, as well as shape changers. Genuinely terrifying, kind of scary. Your friends could be your enemies, you never know. We met this trio of dudeskies who were like, we're really evil, but then it turns out that they're not really evil. This was all a test, and sort of a test for the trio, and also kind of a test for our squad, but mostly a test for the trio. Genkai using our main squad of people as like their proving grounds to show what they've got and prove that they can do stuff, and also, you know, create drama and tension and things like that, because storytelling. We defeated each of them one by one through different mind games and word games, terrifying, and found ourselves confronted with the difficult truth that in truth, Genkai put them up to all of this shit, and she did it for a specific reason. There is a spooky boy, or a couple of spooky boys, or something, I'm really not sure, who are continuing on with Sakyo's dream, sort of. They seem to be doing it on their own, but we don't really know anything about it, but they're trying to open a big portal to the demon world, and that's bad. Also, this is really cool, because I'm pretty sure that, like, if my D&D campaign continues going for a while, and I mean, it would have to continue going for a while, the like overall plot that I will go for after the overall plot that we're currently in is going to be like a portal to another world and lots of crazy shit coming through it, which it ties into a lot of the character backstories and makes a lot of sense. Regardless, I'm going to be stealing lots of ideas from Yu Hakusho because I want to, and Togashi comes up with good ideas pretty frequently, so I'm definitely going to steal some of those. But there is a portal to another realm. It is opening, and other things from the other realm are going to come through it, starting with those teensy little tiny insects, which are flying around doing all kinds of creepy shit. Hiei saw some of those, some other people saw some of those. We know that they're happening, but we don't know why yet until Genkai reveals to us why. There is also a strong implication that Mr. Gem on Forehead, who will now and forever be known by the nickname Smuggles, which is an in-joke that you're not going to get unless you're on my Discord. It just happened, and he is now Smuggles, and he will always be Smuggles to me. He seems to be instrumental in the return of the portal of devilness. Cool. We need some exposition now. We need Genkai to tell us what the fuck is going on so that we can go off and actually help in some way, because we don't know what's happening right now, and we need to know what's happening right now. At least enough to give us a plot hook, right? That's where we're at. We just realized that Genkai was behind the last few episodes of psychological torment, and, you know, thanks Genkai. Love the teaching style. Now, demon portal. Gotta stop it. Ta-da! Also, I was going to mention this at the beginning of the reaction, of the beginning of the discussion thing, but I lopped my hair off because it was getting too long. Okay? Let's watch some episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho. I feel like I've been blathering way all over the place for the last 5 minutes or so, so let's watch the episode and let me shut up for a little bit. I've got episode 71 of Yu Yu Hakusho up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you would like to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of this episode with the timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready, because the PiP timer to count you down will be coming at you right now. Let's go. I'm in a weird mood today. I love it. Are you hot? Ow. Yeah. Eh. Still hot. Kido, Kaito, and Yanagisawa, because they say Yanagisawa, which is just so wrong. But it helps me remember that it's Yanagisawa, not Yanasigawa. Important. Well, that's a start. Yep. It was Genkai the whole time. You know, we have mail, Genkai. There is mail. You could just send us a letter. Or, like, call? Instead of kidnapping us. But that's okay. This is more fun. Cool, cool. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, let's go. I don't know what that means. Okay, now I know what that means. Thanks, Yusuke. Place you've never heard of. Oh, it's nearby. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Are we going Noiri now? Can we just have what? I'm sorry, what? Uh did she call it Mushiori City? Like Mushi like insect? Oh. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. I have a sneaking suspicion about this episode that if anything confirms it, I'll say it. I'm sorry, what? George Sayatome? Oh! He has a name! He has a name! Yes. It's Smuggles. It's definitely Smuggles. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh. 30? What about the other dude? Oh. Yet. What does that mean? Yeah. I love it, Yusuke! Yusuke's killing it today. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Just give us the files. Cool. Remember how I was like, we need some exposition? Ta-da! Ew. So stage 2 is pretty good. What happens in stage 3? All the humans who are blessed with powers explode! Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, no. A Treves. Everyone. Everyone. Oh, we've got classes. Yeah. Sure. That's why you never told us this. Excuse me? Ha ha. Oh, shit. No, it's just a real big place. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh. Are those actual images of a group of S-class demons that we will defeat? I'm down. Well, well, yeah. Okay, so you made a big net. Got it. Little guys can get through. But if you rip a little hole... Got it. No choice. Well, the alternative was worse. Yeah, exactly. We're all fucked. Oh, Iskojira. Wow. We actually... Well, not really. Jesus. We just really have to visually show the death of all men. Oh my god, that is a lot of bodies. Okay. Bad juju coming. Why are your powers not working? Yeah. Everything bad. Oh, Smuggles! Hello, Smuggles. Oh, wait, I've seen that shot in Kosensu Sama Banzai. That is identical. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hold on, what? Is that the friendo who came out of the water? Yeah, it is. What the Wait. Wait, is that Elder? I'm asking the same question as before. They'll interrupt. They're very good at that. Oh! Mr. Sensui? Oh! Oh! We got a voice! What a fucking smug boy! Smuggles indeed. Ah! Oh, that's so sick! Who is that voice? What? Judgment of all humans has begun. What? This is the coolest exposition episode that I've ever seen. This is the dopest. I love it. Whoever made this episode watched Gosenso Sama Banzai, like 100%. Like this sequence is yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Let's give you a little zap. Okay. My previous suspicion was that this might be a Shinbo episode. I don't believe it is. I'm really curious who's directing, though, because there are, like, no less than 2 solid Gosenso Sama Banzai direct references. Get fucked. Damn. Bye-bye. Oh. Oops. Shit. And now we get respect between these enemies. Sup? Sup? I'm a creepy shape changer. Creepy shape changer. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Bleep bloop. It is okay, it is Konma. Too fast! Figured. 3, wait. I still don't think it's a Shimbo episode. Oh. Oh. Good luck. Let's go straight to the BBEG. Ow. Yeah. Don't rush in without... Except that they won. Except that they won. They did win. Oops. Uh. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you're like a Z. No. You're probably B class. You're a lower B. I don't know, dude. Yeah. Darkness Flame, baby. Yeah. Dragon the Darkest Flame. Kind of crazy awesome. I'm a deity. Whoa. Yukina. How will he get... Solo Noir Hiei Adventures. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're... No, it's not. Probably. There's no reason to... Yes! George something? He has a name! What? Oh, cool, cool. Cannon fodder, cannon fodder, cannon fodder. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Oh, that is important. Cool. Cool. Oh. Of course. Of course, Guevara. Hello. Who? Oh, this must be the spirit in the center. Mr. Sensui. Yukina. Or yay. The Jiganai? Squad. Squad. We got a squad. Oh no. Hi, Pooh. Hi, terrified Keiko. How you doing? Hi, Pooh. What the fuck? Oh no, please not a trap. Yeah, it's the beak that stands out. Yes. Ah, it's a new rando in a pink shirt. Pink turtleneck, let's be specific here. Oh my god, what an episode! What? That was awesome! Okay. I love this episode. This is insanely cool. Um, I how do I even put this into words? Um, Nothing happens in this entire episode. Nothing happens. Information is exchanged, and that's the whole episode. I said at the beginning of our discussion, in before the episode, I was like, found out that there's this thing. We don't know anything about it. We know like the villain. We know what the villain looks like. We don't know who the villain is, how they act, why they're doing what they're doing, who their allies are, any of that stuff. Don't know the nature of the thing that they're doing. Don't know the mechanics of getting from one world to another. Don't know what the obstacles for the villains are. Don't know what the obstacles for the heroes are. Don't know shit. So we need an exposition episode. We need an episode where we take our time to just explain fucking everything so that we can be like, this is the world. Here are the things that are happening. This is what the enemy is seemingly trying to do. This is where the enemy is. These are some new allies. This is the whole deal. This is everything we know. We need to find out this other information. Let's go. And we do that in this episode. Is that the most exciting form of content, form of media? Yes. Yes, it is. It actually is. And that's insane. This episode makes exposition really fucking fun. And it does it with style and aplomb in a way that is utterly and genuinely impressive. Now. I'm going to go to this timestamp at about 10 minutes. There's this sequence where Sensui walks into this room, and I'm really intrigued by it. It's back a little bit. This sequence right here. Let me make sure that my timeline is right and that Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai was before this, because I'm sure that it was. I just want to make 100% sure so that I don't trip over myself. Gosenzo-sama Banzai, ANN. Year. 89. Yeah. Good long time ago. Good long time before. Moruoshi with... this was in episode 1, and I don't know who the director for episode 1 was. I assume it was just Oshii. Cool. Now, who directed this episode of Yu Hakusho? Masami Shimoda, who has no relation that I'm aware of to Gosenzo-sama Banzai. Unless... Nope. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm not crazy. I'm not fucking insane. This is amazing. Okay. How do I show this? I'm gonna record it along with the video so that it's just there. So I gotta make sure that I don't fuck this up super badly. Okay, cool. Here's our scene of Sensui. He walks toward this building, and then this is the shot to watch. This layout doorway, sliding door, and then the multi-zoom. We zoom in, stop, zoom in, stop, zoom in, stop, and then he passes the camera. I need you to watch something really quick, because this is actually kind of insane that this is just here. Let me switch the video thing. I think I need display capture. There we go. This is from Gosenza-sama Banbanzai, episode 1. This is a 1989 OVA. It's really good, and you should watch it because it is hyper influential on animation, but it is rare that we get to see a directly ripped shot from one show to another. Watch this shot from Gosenza-sama Banbanzai. 100% stolen. Just to make sure that we're clear on this. Zoom, zoom, cross camera. 100% stolen. That's how that character in Gosenza-sama Banbanzai is introduced to us, pretty much. There are a couple of other shots of her a little bit earlier, but that's pretty much how this character is introduced. What is that character's role in Gosenza-sama Banbanzai? Disruption. When that character, the girl in the yellow hat, arrives in Gosenza-sama Banbanzai, she throws the world of our characters into chaos. What is Sensui's, now that we know his name, Master Sensui, what is his role in our world at the moment? He throws everything into fucking chaos. So why did we choose that introduction for him? Because it's sinister and weird and interesting, and it works. And it's fully 100,000% stolen. 100% stolen. Now, I want to bring us to another sequence that is fully 100,000% stolen. And I don't need to find an example for this one exactly. This is the sequence where Kuwabara goes spotlighted and gives a full, like, impassioned one-man speech to nobody, to the camera. Fully breaks the fourth wall all the way through it, and is speaking not to his allies. Like, there's even a shot immediately afterward where, like, all the spotlight goes away, and everybody's like, what are you even talking about, Kuwabara? What are you on about? And nobody reacts to what he's saying because, like, it's not happening in world, right? It's an outside of world element. Okay. I thought it was right after Hiei leaves, but I could be wrong. I guess, I mean, okay, so there's this first segment where Koenma explains a bunch of shit to all of them, and then Kuwabara does this impassioned black backgrounded speech where he's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is not the one that I'm talking about. The one that I'm talking about is a little bit later, but I still need to find it. Ah, I found it. Okay. Wow, that took a long time for me to find. Should not have taken this long. It's immediately after the mid-roll. We get our mid-roll credits, and then Kuwabara, with a nonsense door behind him, spotlighted from above, gives an impassioned one-man speech directly to the audience, Rakugo style. Oh, well then, back to Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai to find an example of that, because it happens in pretty much every episode. Okay, well, that wasn't hard to find. Here's the mid-roll of episode 1 of Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai. We get our weird mid-roll thing with Angel thing. And we have our main character in front of a nonsense door on a black background. Well, in this situation, he's looking through the peephole, etc. But he will then turn and give a full impassioned monologue that's actually, it's like debating the Schrodinger's situation of starting a story. Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai is weird and hyper meta about storytelling and the nature of tales and stories. And all of our characters are aware of that. And, like, this character is, in this moment, thinking about the possibility of opening this door to an adventure, to a story, to a potential love, who is, in this case, the yellow-hatted, the girl with the yellow hat. I won't spoil anything for Gosenju Sama Banbanzai because it's a fucking trip and you should all watch it, especially if you find this kind of interesting directing and, like, interesting storytelling cool in Yu Yu Hakusho. This is example 2 of something directly from this episode that is 100%, I guarantee, stolen directly from this show, directly from the OVA Gosenju Sama Banbanzai. There's no way that this happened in isolation. Whoever storyboarded and or directed this episode, Masami Shimoda on episode direction, I'm not sure who was storyboarding, watched the fuck out of Gosenju Sama Banbanzai and got inspired by it. And that's the coolest thing that I have seen in weeks of watching anime. At least weeks of watching anime. Seeing this connection across, like, 6 years between Gosenju Sama Banbanzai's airing and this episode of Yu Yu Hakusho airing. At least 6 years because of the like, airing time. So 6 or 7 years in is really fucking cool. And I like it a lot. Not only do I like it a lot, but it's really neat to see this kind of, like, stylistic percolation occur in the industry. Because this is what's happening here. It's out of world. I didn't switch the thing, so you didn't even see what I was talking about. Fuck me. I was talking about this. We get this character from Gosenju Sama Banbanzai who stands right in front of this door, center screen, and gives this impassioned speech with all of the mannerisms and stuff. And yes, I know he looks a little bit like a puppet man. That's because he's drawn like a puppet man. It's just part of the show. It's a very weird show. Lots of weird shit goes on. Lots of other weird shit goes on. It's insanity. You should watch it. Regardless, I think that's the coolest thing that I've seen in a long time, and I'm so, like, because I would never have caught that kind of a cool thing if I had not watched Gosenju Sama Banbanzai and been so fascinated by it, because it is fascinating. And obviously, whoever was in charge of this scene thought it was real cool too, because they used it, and they used a lot of it, and that's fucking awesome. It's also really valuable because a lot of what happens in Gosenju Sama Banbanzai is just characters talking to each other and, like, discussing in sort of a weird conversational way the nature of the story that they are in and also the nature of all stories. It's real strange. You should watch it. Fucking masterpiece. And this episode riffs on it a lot. And I think that makes this episode real close to being a fucking masterpiece. Okay. I want to take a step back from these individual, like, cool things that we're talking about and spend some time talking about a dramatic shift that occurs in this episode from where we were to where we're going. And the way our characters act, the way our characters interact, the reasons for their existence, and, like, the reasons that they are the way that they are, change in this episode for almost everybody. And I think that's really interesting. I'm not sure how to even explain this. I might have to straight up watch the episode again. I'm willing to do that. This is such an exposition and like detail heavy episode that I'm willing to watch through it again and just talk things through as they occur. I think I'm going to do precisely that. So this is gonna be a weird reaction. I think we're probably only going to watch this one episode today. I'm changing this on the fly because I think this episode deserves that attention. Not necessarily, again, not because a bunch of shit happens in this episode, but specifically because it doesn't, and specifically because I was still enthralled by it, regardless of my knowledge going in that this was going to be an exposition-heavy episode, and regardless of the fact coming out that it was an exposition-heavy episode. This is the most effective and like interesting exposition that I have seen in a long time. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the way that our characters associate the information that they receive with narrative and moral stakes. And I think that's really interesting, and I want to go through this again. So I want to say a couple things off the top. The first is that the structure of this episode is really simple. Our characters have gotten to their goal state from the previous sequence, which was defeat or figure out the deal with this fourth dimensional mansion. And the goal that they got to was, oh shit, it's actually Genkai the whole time. From that point, the entire episode is Genkai explains stuff about the problem, and our characters react to it, and Koenma explains stuff about the problem, and our characters react to it. And then there's like one slightly separate section where we see Keiko and Shizuru. Is it Shizuru? Fuck me, I always forget her name. Kuwabara's sister. Yeah, it's already searched for. Shizuru! Oh my god, I got it right. Thank goodness. Cool. That's the whole episode, is Genkai talks at our characters respond. Koenma talks at our characters respond. Our characters react and interact, and their relationships change because of the information that they get. Specifically, like, Kuwabara and Hiei is the most core there. But, yeah. I don't see a choice here. This episode is so interesting to me that I'm just going to fully rewatch it, and I'm gonna pause anytime that I get to something interesting. I'm just gonna talk about it. Let's go. Let's check what the title was, just for fun. Oh, okay. The terror approaches a doorway to the demo wall. Sorry. Okie dokie. Oh, that's really weird. We cut here, and he's clearly supposed to be moving his mouth, and then they just cut the entire audio portion for that cut. Out. Zoom out. Keto is like...
A tunnel?
And then it's just cut.
Tiny portals have been opened in pseudo-space.
Okay. I'm gonna make a guess here. Togashi has never planned for there to be a pseudo space in between the demon realm and the real realm, and for like all that stuff to happen. There was never a plan for that, obviously. But he has his characters, as soon as Genkai's like, there's this thing called the pseudo space, our characters are like, yes, I am aware.
It is known as the pseudo-space.
Ah, yes, I too know of this information. Let me share it with the rest of the group that does not know this information, which makes us feel like this was real knowledge that our characters actually had before Togashi decided that this was the way that the story was going, which is good. This is useful. Also, stealing little tip, if I make a change in my world while I'm DMing, and it's kind of a big change, and I didn't actually think about it, have some characters be like, yeah, we know about that. Yeah, for sure. We got it. Not new information to us. Super helpful. Okay, onward.
You're wrong, old hag. If there were a hole out of this vile world, I would have taken it. Get it?
All right, can we talk about Hiei's snark over the course of this episode? You're wrong, old hag. If there was a hole out of this world, I'd fucking take it. I'd be out of here, baby. Hiei's real snarky over the course of this episode. It's pretty interesting. Okay. On VOD. Also, I'll bet you anything that they're going to steal Yukina and try to use her as the thing that cuts through the barrier, which is going to force Hiei to be a part of the thing.
Where is it?
Mushiori City.
What? That close? That's like a Sunday afternoon drive from here.
I also love this element. It's in a similar vein to the like character introduces completely new concept. Other characters are like, yeah, we know about that. Okay, it's a thing in the world and it's known, and like I don't have to suspend my disbelief. I just believe it. Great. Also love this little piece of exposition, which is that our characters contextualize the information that they receive from their own emotional perspective, and that's super useful. So our example, or the one that I want to highlight, is this one.
Mushiori City.
Genkai looks at the camera and goes, Mushiori City, that's where the portal is. And Yusuke goes,
What? That close?
wait, that's that's just down the road. I went there, like, basically like, oh, I had a birthday party at the Chuck E. Cheese's in Mushiori City. I know that place. Emotional contextualization of newly presented information. Mushiori City, not a place that existed 30 seconds ago in the show, right? It existed in world, but effectively it did not exist before 30 seconds ago. Our characters have never been there. Our characters have never seen it or heard of it. We've never seen it or heard of it. There's no reason to believe that there is any city in this world besides the city that we're currently in until Yusuke goes, wait, Mushiori City is just a day trip away. And we're like, oh, okay, we know where Mushiori City is. It's like a city that's pretty close, and people have probably been there to go shopping or whatever, right? Like there's probably an outlet store in Mushiori City that's got better prices than the one in our town. Cool. We got it. Emotional context. Achieved. We go from blank, bland exposition dump to our characters care about this thing that's going on. And so, guess what? We, having experienced life with our characters for 70 episodes, also care about this thing. Neat.
That's like a...
Okay, visuals of Mushiori City. Weird, spooky, flickery things. Don't ask, man. I don't know. I don't understand. It's real spooky. This whole sequence is super spooky dooky, and I fucking love it. I like that we introduced those other Botana-likes, Reapers? I don't know. We introduced those, and they're actually like around in the world doing things. It's not one squad of people who are the only forces of the spirit world in the entire universe. Like, great. A little bit of expansion of world is very cool. Is very, very cool. Did I just get a phone call? I did get a phone call. I assume that it is because I just got a package. Okay. I'm going to ignore it for now because I'm recording. I'm going to continue on.
Are we as dumb as my ogre monkey boy? Dumb as George Sayatomi?
This is sort of out of nowhere, but Oni has a name. Yeah, okay, there's a demon portal. Yeah, I know. There are demons that are 10,000 times more powerful than Toguro. Great. Very surprising. Very strange. Yada yada. Plot points.
Monkey boy, dumb as George Sayatomi?
George Sayatome is the name of Oni? You gotta be fucking kidding me. My boy George Sayatome, he has a name. Fuck you, Koenma. You are an asshole, and George there needs to be an HR department here, because what the hell, dude? Poor George. Poor George does all the work around here, and fucking Koenma just sits on his thing and stamps papers. Seriously, all we need is a mechanical hand stamper to stamp papers for Koenma, and then George can run the spirit world. Can we get a movement together to oust Koenma as ruler of Spirit World and get fucking George in the big chair? Because George knows what's going on. Jesus. He has a real name. Crazy.
Sir, that's the first time you've ever used my name.
Shut up!
I guess that's...
Botan has all the spy tools. That's pretty cool. Honestly, I was kind of like, whatever, they're useless, it's whatever, earlier, because I was like, oh, we're just giving Botan a thing to do so that she doesn't just fly around on her broom and be useless all the time. We've effectively given Botan a thing to do. She's like our comms agent and our like hacker in the van, the guy in the sky, all of that. She's the tech person. I fucking like it. It's super cool. I like it a lot. Anyway.
The boy back to life.
I love this gag. I love it a lot. I mean, why wouldn't he be able to pop his head through a spirit communicator? Why not? He's fucking Koenma. He can do whatever he wants. So, pop.
I forgot.
Great gag. Love it a lot.
Come from Mushio. They share one.
Cool piece of like tying everything together. Genkai has already said the big bad thing is happening in Mushiori City, city of insects. Gotcha. These two are part of a group of 30 people that over the last month have come to me, Genkai, and asked me for help with weird spirit shit that's going on with them. All of those people come from Mushiori City. Ding-a-ling-a-ling goes in our brains. We go, oh, fuck, that shit's happening in Mushiori City. Everybody in Mushiori City is getting powers. That's super, like, crazy. I guess that's where the thing is. That makes a lot of sense. Sweet. Fleshing out what Mushiori City is, how it works, how it's affecting the world. So smart. So simple, but so smart.
I guess an itsy-bitsy part of that means we've already advanced into stage 2.
Stage 2, what? What does that mean?
Okay. Additional element of the exposition here that I fucking love. And again, this is a situation where I fully do not believe that Togashi intended for this to ever be a plot point when he started writing the story. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I don't think it's I don't think like Okay, I'll put it this way. I think that as audience members, readers, and experiencers of media, we put a lot of stock into what was planned in the beginning, right? Like, oh, if the author planned out this hyper intricate storyline that involves all these things, and things from episode 1 come back into play later on in the thing, and it's like, oh, we understand the whole thing, then we think of that as good writing intrinsically, and I don't think that's necessarily true. I've been actually this is something that was talked about by Brennan Lee Mulligan in one of his Adventuring Academy videos. He's a dungeon master for Dimension 20, and he has like a little show where he does just like asking or answering questions from people on Twitter and Discord about dungeon mastering and like writing stories and stuff. And there's one segment where he talks about a DM writes in with a question that's like, I feel weird when I've got prep that I did earlier in the week for where the story is going, and my characters, like, they do something different, and what they do is actually cooler and opens up new opportunities for the story to go in different directions, but it goes against what I had planned, right? So throwing off a weird example off the top of my head, like I prepped on Wednesday for my game on Saturday, and this isn't a real thing that happened, I'm just making this up. I prepped that there was going to be this organization of spies and thieves, and they're like a thieves guild but more broad, and they're going to come into conflict with the party because the party wants to steal an object that they previously stole from somebody else, and they've been hired by whoever they stole it from, some noble in the city, to go and get it back, right? But my party goes, cool, we like those Thieves Guild people. These nobles are fucking assholes. We're going to go align ourselves with the Thieves Guild. And I'm like, oh, but they're villains. But they're the bad guys. You can't go and align yourself with them. But gosh, it would be a really cool story if you guys went underground and figured out what the Thieves Guild was all about. That would be super cool. I made them really cool villains, but what if they were our allies instead? But I'm not going to do that because I already pre-wrote the way that the Thieves Guild is going to interact with my characters on Wednesday. Is there a difference in authority? Authorial authority. Yes, I know. Authorial authority between what was written on Wednesday and what was written on the fly, improv-wise, on Saturday when the people are actually at the table. And Brennan, this DM, is like, no, absolutely not. The reason that I bring this up is because what we have going on in this story right now in Yu Hakusho is a bunch of new information that is almost very obviously not a part of the original story, right? There's no way that Togashi was like, yeah, I've got an arc planned for the arc after this arc, right? Like, we could say, sure, there's the potential that something like the Dark Tournament was in his mind beforehand, right? Great. But before he even started, like, the Spirit Egg and all that shit. Great, sure. Could have been possible. The chance that he actually ideated Sensui and, like, a post a post-villain who's continuing the work of the previous villain from an arc that probably hadn't been ideated at all anyway. Like, there's no way. Does that make it less than the stuff that was planned out beforehand? I think not. And so what it comes down to is, can I believe that this could have been planned from the outset? And that these elements of this world did exist before they're being brought into the narrow viewpoint of the show. Because this is something else that, like, that I've had to think about in dungeon mastering, is the nature of perspective on a world from our character's POV. And I think that it's even more limiting when we have, like, the perspective of a camera in world. Our perspective is very limited on this world that we see. We've gone to how many locations, like, actually gone to how many locations over the course of this show? We've gone to a couple of spooky forests. We've gone to a couple of places in our city. We've gone to school. We've gone to a couple of our people's homes. And then we went to Hanging Neck Island, and we fought in the Dark Tournament. And we've been to a couple of warehouses around the city, and, like, that's it. Right? Our actual view on the world of Yu Hakusho is utterly tiny. Super duper small. Oh, and we went to Demon World to fight the sacred beasts, right? Our actual viewpoint is like a narrow cone. But we can believe that there's a whole world around it because our brains just extrapolate that out. So the problem, it's not really a problem, but, like, the challenge as a writer is when you bring new things into the tiny, narrow, conical perspective, you're not exactly widening the perspective on the universe. You're just shifting things from outside it that do not exist into it. And the secret is that outside of the conical perspective of your camera or the perspective of your player characters in a Dungeons and Dragons game, everything outside of that is void. It's just blank nothingness. It's ideation. It's filled in by our minds when we watch the show. Like, Yusuke lives in a city. We see Yusuke at home. We see Yusuke walking to school. We see Yusuke at school. We don't see the fucking video store on the corner, but we can believe that there probably is one. We don't see the homeless problem in this city, but we can believe that there probably is one, right? Like, all of these things are just extrapolated out because we associate, Yusuke lives in a city. I've lived in a city. I know all the things that are in cities. Easy peasy. Great. The challenge is if we say, by the way, there are demons in this city. Now we've brought a thing from void space that did not exist before and brought it into the narrow perspective of our story. Do we believe that that element was a part of the city before we stumbled upon it? Or does it feel to us like it appeared because we looked for it, right? Like, do demons appear in the story so that Yusuke has something to fight? Or are demons just a part of the story and Yusuke learns about them and learns to fight them as he becomes powered, right? Gains powers. It's the latter in Yu Hakusho, pretty much all the way through. Some of the stuff in the very beginning is very much like, the story is just happening now. But as we fleshed things out, as it's become more real, as the number of things that have come out from void space into our world, the nature of the void space, the nature of the stuff that we don't see has become more clear to us. There is a spirit world. There is a demon world. There are demons in demon world. Lots of the demons in demon world love violence and destruction and stuff. Like, we get that as a general base status quo for demons because of the Dark Tournament and because the audience is there. Those demons exist like this. And then we say stage 2 of a demon portal thing, right? Was there ever a staging system for a demon portal opening? Not before this. It was off in void space. It didn't exist, but we just created it and brought it into our narrow focus. Now the question is, do we believe that it existed before that? And the answer is right here.
But that means we've already advanced into stage 2.
Stage 2, what? What does that mean? You moved to training pants?
No,
Stage 2, what does that mean? You've moved to training pants? That is the answer to the question, do we believe that this thing exists? Because Yusuke, in world, doesn't know that it exists. And he goes, what's this thing that you're talking about? And Koenma goes, let me explain it to you. And we as the audience go, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that because I didn't know it existed either. But surely if Koenma can just explain it right off the top of his head, it must have been a thing in the world before. I just didn't know about it. And that aligns with our experience, right? Like there are lots of things that you might not know about the world, right? You go take a biology class and you focus on cells. You're like, wow, there are fucking cells that make up everything. That's crazy. I didn't know that before. But there's all this information about cells and stuff, and I can go and like look through a microscope and see them on a slide. I can fully believe that this is the nature of our world. Cool, right? That was information that I didn't have before. And I believe that it exists, and there's not some cabal of weird people telling me this stupid thing about like, oh, yes, there are tiny mini organisms that make up all living things. It's like, that's insane. That's a crazy idea. And then you read the book, you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's cool. This is the same sort of thing. This is Koenma pulling out his textbook and being like, no, look, guys, there's literature about this thing, this staging system. Now, did Togashi ever have a staging system for like portals opening? Maybe. Does it matter whether he improv'd it at the table or if he had it planned from the very beginning? No, not at all. What matters is whether we believe it and whether we believe that our characters believe it, and we do. And so that's fucking awesome. It's just really cool.
No, it doesn't. But I'm not sure how much of it I can reveal.
I know this is a very much an aside. Koenma goes, I have all this information, but it's super secret and ultra classified, so I can't tell you about it, even though I'm sending you on a mission to defeat it. And Yusuke goes, bruh.
Intelligence. Well, how can I help you if I don't know anything?
And Koenma's like, oh, that's true. Let me tell you all the things. I love this. I like it a lot. It's really goofy. It's super goofy. It makes me think of like when as a DM you accidentally ask for a skill check for something that you just want to happen, right? So like your characters go to whoever their quest giver is at the moment, right? Somebody in some organization that they're associated with, and you're like, all right, this is the session. The plan for the session is this guy is gonna hire them for a mission to go and eliminate some things in a place. And they get there and you're like, all right, make a persuasion check to get your boss to tell you the thing that you need to do. And then they roll a natural one, and you're like, oh, I guess you don't have a mission for today. I should not have made you roll a check for that. You should have just gotten the information. This is sort of that situation. Obviously, Yusuke rolls high on his persuasion here to convince Koenma to give him the info. But gosh, it would be really shitty if Koenma was just like, yeah, I'm not going to give you the info. I don't trust you now. Whoops. There goes the storyline. Guess we're going back to school. A month later, the world explodes. Giant demons fly around everywhere. Yusuke's like, Koenma, why didn't you tell us about this giant problem that's occurring? Koenma's like, oh, yeah, it's classified. I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Okay, exposition, spooky stuff, giant monsters, giant demons. Bad juju.
Apparitions all the way through the C and B classes.
And then we move over to, it'll stabilize, and then all the classes of demons will be able to come through. And that's our first introduction to this idea of, there are classes of demons? Whoa!
The C and B classes will be able to pass between worlds en masse.
And Yusuke goes, what's that? And Koenma goes, oh, here's the ranking system that has been in existence in Spirit World that I've just never told you about, because why would I tell you about it? Oh, that kind of makes sense. I'm sure that that's a real thing that was planned from the beginning. I'm sure that there's a reason why Botan wasn't like, now you're going to go fight Hiei. Hiei is like a D-class demon. Be on guard, Yusuke. You're a new spirit hunter, right? Because it wasn't a thing before. It just wasn't. Does that detract from it? No, it's still cool. It doesn't make it worse that it wasn't necessarily planned from the very beginning. But we do need to do a little bit of legwork to make it believable that it was there from the very beginning. That it didn't just apparate from void space, but instead was part of a real fleshed out world that exists beyond our tiny cone of experience and understanding. This is it's so good.
All the demons in the upper level B class are the same strength as Toguro.
Yeah, Toguro is upper B class. Shit. Now, I mean, we're in power escalation territory where the classic shonen problem, like, oh, we fought the biggest bad that's ever been bad. Guess what? There are bigger bads who are even more bad. Can't get away from it. Not a big problem. But it's pretty cool to be like, yeah, there are 2 full size categories and like danger categories of demons beyond the most powerful thing that you've ever faced. Good luck. Awesome.
Toguro is just a...
Yes.
Absolutely.
I also love this description of the demon world, and it's effectively the abyss. It really is just the D&D abyss. This whole idea that there are just infinite layers of chaos and insanity that just exist is right on the money. Yeah, that's great. It's infinite. It's a bad time. And we get silly comments like Yusuke being like, oh, you suck at this whole spirit world thing. And Koenma gets to go, look, man, you have no idea what I'm up against. This is a literally infinite series of equally infinite planes that are all filled with malevolent demon entities, and they just get more powerful as you get further. We can't control that shit. We just seal it off, and we hope that they don't get through. And now they're getting through. Perfect. Makes perfect sense. Makes every bit of sense. Why would you bring it up? Yusuke's not or previously, Yusuke was not a, like, defender of the world. He was a spirit hunter, right? He's a ghost hunter. He goes off and does some detective shit and takes out, like, individual threats, not the world-ending threats. Awesome. It makes perfect sense. I like that.
The anchor of the A-class and S-class or super A-class demons who live at the bottom.
Okay, so wait, A-class, S-class, and super S-class? Or super A-class, but not super S-class. Are there super S-class? I'm sure that there are. So is super A-class above S-class? That's confusing. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just be like A-class, lower, mid, upper, A-class, S-class, lower, mid, upper, S-class? Cool, we're done. I don't know, whatever.
S-class demons.
We do see this. I don't know if these are the actual designs of those demons, but I kind of hope that they are because they're fucking dope. Look at this hedgehog, spiky, electric dude. I don't know what the fuck he is. He looks terrifying. Look at this guy with 3 separate lizard-like heads. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty spooky. Look at this guy. He's just got an Articuno, or is that a Zapdos? It's an Articuno or a Zapdos. It's one or the other. He's got one. That's terrifying. This guy looks like a vampire bat. I wonder if he's going to sprout wings and be a vampire bat. I don't know. No comment. Spooky dude back there. I hope that these are the actual designs of the things, because that's dope. Okay, so he made this cool net thing, which is eventually going to be the thing that the demons are trying to break so that they can all get through. And the nature of the net thing involves a serious moral conundrum. And it's one that Yusuke immediately picks up on. And I want to talk about it once we get there. But it's kind of cool that there is actually, like, previously in this world, characters have had to make moral decisions because they've had to. It's really neat. It makes the world feel more alive because it's not just the visible actions of our characters on screen that shape the world. Koenma has also shaped the world. He's been around for a long time, and he's been doing this for a long time. And the way that he's done it and the choice that he made make a lot of sense. Okay, onward.
The only way to make a barrier large enough was to spread the energy into a net.
So, the only way to make a barrier large enough was to spread the energy into a net, get a filter that like cuts out big stuff, no birds flying in, but insects can still make it in. Cool. Yusuke's response to this is the interesting part. While B-class demons can squeeze through, the larger A and S-class demons are held at bay. And Yusuke goes,
No! How could you sign off on a plan like that? You intentionally made it so that hundreds of demons, like Toguro, could just
Demons
prance
as
on over here
powerful as
whenever they want?
Toguro? You intended this to happen? How could you? Well, the alternative is much worse. You only understand Toguro's power level. Imagine 100,000 times that. That's just one A-class demon. I don't know how the actual scaling works, but you get the point, right? There was a moral decision previously made, and Yusuke disagrees with it on principle. Because he's like, you should have let no demons through. How? Yeah, but how many demons did this net stop from getting through, and how much more terrifying would those be? This is actually really interesting in a real world sort of way, because of the nature of this conflict. It's really interesting. I think that this is a shockingly common type of conflict that occurs in like political discourse, or occurred in political discourse. Most political discourse at the moment is utterly worthless and completely inane and just stupid, which is why I stay away from politics. But in somewhat previous political discourse, where people are actually making policy decisions about things that matter, a lot of the time there would be difficult considerations like this. Like, you can take action to try to stop a problem, but if you do that, you will be held responsible for every part of that problem that you cannot completely stop, despite your limited resources, right? It's the easiest thing to bring this to would be migration, but or immigration, but that's such a heated topic that I don't even want to bring it up. I'm sure that you can come up with an example on your own of something that one group might actively want to stop or prevent or help with, and another group might say, no, the status quo is fine as it is. And then when the group goes through with their plans to stop or help or prevent whatever bad thing is occurring, the other group that was like, no, the status quo is fine, says it's your fault that you tried to stop it and failed, despite our previous argument being don't try. It's kind of an interesting thing that happens. You get a lot more flack for failing to achieve the goal that you tried to accomplish than just saying that it's a silly goal anyway. It's interesting. Anyway, have to imagine the alternative. S-class demons are real bad, and then we get some visuals to show that. We do 2 Akira bombs. They're not really as... They're cool. These are cool. They're not Akira bombs. You know, it's not an Akira bomb. It's not three-dimensional awesomeness. It's just a single thing with a bunch of rocks flying around. Come on, you can do better than that. It doesn't matter. It's totally fine. But these are fucking terrifying. These are visions of despair. This one's straight out of Warhammer. Like, this is just Warhammer. Brrr. It's fucking awesome. I dig this whole sequence a lot. It's super cool. Also, the literal road of corpses. Jesus. Okay, one impassioned speech from Kuwabara.
Worried. What's wrong, guys?
I actually really like this whole sequence.
Loop. Saying we're team.
I like this whole sequence a lot. Kuwabara's like, I don't understand what's going on. Somebody tell me what to do. And everybody fully ignores him and is just like, oh shit, Koenma is talking about serious stuff. And Kuwabara's response is, guys? Okay, now I'm freaked out. Everybody's paying attention to this. Normally people are bickering with me. What's going on? This is not good. It's pretty cool. Brings, again, emotional contextualization, in this case, because of the way that our characters are interacting or refusing to interact with Kuwabara. That's real good. Cut over to Sensui. Hello. Spooky boy. Steal a shot from Gosenzu-sama Bomb Bonsai. Nothing wrong with that. Spooky boy. Spooky fish tank. Spooky Elder Toguro's head is in the fish tank. Holy shit. Elder Toguro's head is in the fish tank.
How's the tunnel going as planned?
Ha! He's alive. Okay. So, nickname, Smuggles. because he is a smug boy. His name is now Smuggles.
They'll interrupt. They're very good at that.
For pretty much the first time in our show, our villains know who we are and know we're a threat. How fucking cool is that? Now, you could say that Toguro previously knew who they were and was like, oh, they could be a threat. Obviously, he was a Blood Knight on the path to find somebody who could defeat him in combat. That was his whole thing. This is very different. We've got demons with a specific goal that they are specifically working to achieve, and they are far along in their process. They're doing well, and they have the information that there's this squad of dudes with Yusuke, and they are shockingly powerful, and they'll probably come after us and interrupt us. They're ready for us. Terrifying. Awesome. Also, I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to steal that so that my villains in my game know who my characters are and know that they're a problem. And it's quite likely that at some point this next week game, like one of the villainous factions is probably going to send a hit squad and try and eliminate the crew. Just a little bit, because they fucked them up a little bit. They fucked up my villain's plans just slightly, and might send a little squad of people that go and see how tough they are. It might happen. Regardless, we get our first lines from Sensui.
Mr. Sensui, you must avenge us.
Can I just mention that Elder Toguro's voice actor does this cool thing with his intonation? There's also like an effect applied to make him like blah, 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 to make him burbly, but he does this thing with his intonation and the way that he emphasizes words that makes him super creepy. Let's see, I think there's an example right here.
Sensui, do to me. Mr. Sensui,
Mr. Sensui.
do to me. Mr. Sensui, you must avenge us.
You must avenge us. Right? Like, all the emphasis is weird. You must avenge us. You must avenge us. Super weird, super off. And that's super intentional, and it really works for this creepy floating head in a fucking fish tank who's also the brother of our enemy and also a weird shapeshifter dude who now has half of his eye fucking two-faced, and he's like, I hate them. I hate them. It's awesome. Speech.
Soldiers take orders.
First line from this character in the whole thing. Soldiers take orders.
Soldiers take orders. Not me.
Not me.
But, lucky for you, nothing can deny me the pleasure of this kill.
But, lucky for you, nothing can deny me the pleasure of this kill. Pleasure in killing. Individualism. Immediately and like, it's weird. His response to, you must avenge us, is, I don't take orders from you. Like, hair trigger, that's the first thing that he goes to. Real interesting type of boy here. He's also extremely smug. Also takes pleasure in this kill.
I thought you'd say that.
And then Sensui gets to say some more stuff.
Never satisfied, never full, they eat and destroy with grubby hands until nothing is left but piss. But now, the judgment of all humans has begun.
We have a moralistic demon. He's a moralistic demon, dude. Dude. We got a demon with a moral code. He thinks humans are grubby, world-destroying monsters who make this world worse. And he and his people deserve better. Can we just side note that all of this characterization is done in 2 sentences? 2. or two lines. Smug. Pleasure of the kill. Doesn't take orders. Deeply individualistic. Hyper chaotic, you could say. Believes in his mission. Believes that humans are bad. Not evil necessarily, but bad for the world. Bad for him. Has a goal. Has reasons for that goal. Besides, I'm a character archetype. Ooh. This is why I wanted to talk so much about this episode. This episode is a marked shift in the goals of our characters, the perspectives of our characters, the perspectives and nature of our villains, and the overall moral content and stakes of our show have shifted immensely. Immensely. We've gone from, oh boy, there's a tournament, and if we're all gonna die if we don't go and compete, and then we might not die if we do compete. That was the arc for the Dark Tournament arc. It was great. It was solid. Believable? Like, this is something that could really happen in our real world? Not so much. This guy? Believable? Yeah. Fucking obviously. Fucking obviously. He's a revolutionary. Like, straight up is an archetypal revolutionary character. The world is rotten and corrupt. I will bring order to it. I will chart a path where every individual can choose their own destiny. And I will stain my hands red with blood to achieve my goals. Yeah, that's a person. It's not a villainous caricature. There's a person there. In 2 lines. In 2 lines, he goes from Smuggles to Master Sensui. That's fucking awesome. This is the most awesome villain thing that I've seen in a long time. Because it's right out the gate. Bada boom. Okay. Kuwabara does this thing.
But now you're telling me that someone's just in spirit world can control.
Again, this is fully stolen from Gosenzo Sama Banzai.
Has hope
And I love it.
truly left?
Get over it. Minute.
I'm going to preempt something. Somebody's going to be like, it's not stolen from Gosenzo Sama Banzai. It's just a thing. It's just like a traditionalist form of Japanese storytelling called Rakugo that you probably don't know about, Teeaboo, because blah, 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 blah. I know. I know. That's the joke in Gosenzo Sama Banzai. And it's also the joke here, but it's stolen from Gosenzo Sama Banzai. And I gotta be clear, that's what it is. And also go watch Gosenzo Sama Banzai because you need to expand your consciousness. Man, you gotta grow that brain. Okay. Dude Bro McDudeskins, give his soul back. I love the little conversation that he has with Shuichi. There are so many elements to it that are really interesting that I'm, again, going to switch to just watching through. You played your part well. You lost, but it was a stirring introduction, says Kurama to Kaido. And Kaido goes, no, man, I was giving it my all. I was trying to fuck you up, because I am genuinely envious of you. You beat me on every test, and I care about that shit. But yeah, I lost.
You played your part well.
It's like he's a person. Wow. This type of additional characterization that's like it's such a leap from where we've been in the show, right? Where we've been like, who is Kurama? Kurama is a fox demon who got turned into a person and cares about people now. That's Kurama. He's got plenty things. Does he have anything like more from that? Well, he's got some personality. He's got the way that he thinks about things. He's got the way that he acts and the way that he responds to other characters. But does he have like this kind of a relationship with another character? Not really. This is the first this plus the previous episodes where Kaido and Kurama and Shuichi battled creates a deeper character relationship than Kurama and Hiei have ever had. Kurama and Hiei have always had this thing that's like, they know each other. Also, they're both demons, so I guess they understand each other. Now we've got two characters, one of whom is just naturally fucking really good at everything, and the other one is deeply envious of that and tries his ass off to beat him using his own games, and Shuichi still pulls through. And now there's a weird mutual respect between these two characters centered around just doing well, like being strong and being powerful and being better than each other.
Wasn't playing along. I tried my hardest to defeat you.
Also, voice actor for Kaido nails it. There's this waver in his voice.
I wasn't playing along. I tried.
Long. That is like such an emotional waver there. It almost feels like he's like gritting back tears a little bit.
I tried my hardest to defeat you. For once, I wanted to see you lose. But I'll just have to wait a little longer.
He's still after him. He's not giving up. Boom. Character relationship. How will they interact in the future? We know how they'll interact in the future.
I've been here to save you.
And then it's like, wait, you fully zapped your own soul and turned yourself to stone? That's insane. He's like, yeah, dude, I'll do anything to get my victory. It's like, wow, I can respect that. You're part of the squad now. Boom, respect. Now, the other two don't quite get that much. With Kido and Yanagisawa.
Stage 4 in 3 weeks.
All right, timeline. It will reach stage 4 in 3 weeks. We are on the clock. Suddenly, not only do we have stakes, the world will fucking end. Oh god, big demons, bad juju, we're all gonna die. We also have a timeline. 3 weeks, and then the world ends. And we're all fucked. And oh god, big demons, bad juju, we're all gonna die.
3 weeks.
Shit. Okay. Details, exposition, grids, maps, etc.
Know that city, right? So then take me to that down.
And Yusuke goes,
Brain into mush.
Not so fast, Yusuke.
I'm gonna go fight the things that are bad. Because I'm a simple character and I want to go fight the things that are bad. I am aware that the villainous faction has a boss, and I'm gonna go kill the boss. Okay. You walk into the boss's room. The boss shoots you with a giant blunderbuss. You take 74 points of damage. You are dead. Oops, you had 14 hit points because you're level 2. You're dead. We can't go fight the boss. We can't go stop their plans. We gotta do some side missions first. We gotta figure out what's going on first. And Genkai knows this.
You guys know that city, right? So then take me to that hole.
Let's go, right now. No. Don't be stupid. And we get that banter between our characters. Again, this is solidifying and cementing relationships that we already believe in. It's like, it's good. There's change to it. There's significant authorial development from Togashi present in the content of this episode, and it's amazing to see. I'm super excited.
Understanding your enemy's power.
Because in the same way that that the Dark Tournament arc was a dramatic evolution from the kind of Monster of the Week storytelling that we got pre the tournament arc, like, oh shit, something real in world is happening now and we're involved in it. This is, yes, there are real things in this world that are happening. We have reached a level of power. Now we're facing world-ending stakes. It's a full level up, right? It's so cool. I love this little, here are the goals speech from Genkai, and it's another thing that I'm just going to steal. Let's go.
Koenma said we can't wait.
If the tunnel completes, we're doomed.
We can't wait. We got to go right now. with no information. And Genkai turns to us and goes,
That still allows us 3 weeks.
still got time.
3 questions to answer.
We've got some questions.
How many fighters in their group? Who is their leader? And what's the true nature of their power?
How many? Who? What can they do? Because if we don't know those things, we're fucked. I like that a lot. So, in the campaign that I'm running, a lot of the campaign is going to be structured around a series of heists. Enter into a location, steal an object, or steal some information, or find information, or something like that. And the way that I've set it up, and the way that it's supposed to be set up, if our characters go in guns blazing, they will all fully die, 100,000%. They will just die in my campaign. They will die, and so when an NPC eventually introduces one of these heists to them and is like, look, this group of people has this like manor over there in the city, and they've got a document that has some information on it, and we need that information. You're going to go steal it. I'm going to have that NPC go, listen, this squad, the people who run this manor, they are way beyond your level. And if any of them are present, you need to not engage. You need to not get into a fight. So the nature of this encounter is going to be very different from run and gun, destroy everything in the house, steal the thing, run away. You guys have to go in quiet. And if you get found, there's a good chance that if you don't book it and get out of there really fast, you are dead. This is dangerous. If my characters engage during most of these heists, the number of reinforcements and the quality of those reinforcements that will come down on their head will end them without question. Like, without question. You go into one of these heists and you're like, oh, we're gonna steal the paper. Oh, I rolled low on a stealth check. A fucking beholder with a giant eye stalks comes out of nowhere. It's like, zap, zap, you're dead. Get zapped, bitch. No, it won't be quite that quick or punishing, but that's the nature of things. So this tone and style from Genkai of being like, listen, I know you're raring to go. I know you want to go fight the bad guys. We need intel. We should scout this place. We should figure out how many enemies are there. We should get whatever maps we can. We should figure out all the information that we can possibly get so that we can actually battle this knowingly. And we should figure out the guard schedules and map the place and figure out if there are any traps and blah, 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 blah. Super important for keeping your characters from dying. So I'm going to steal that.
In what class?
Okay. And then we get Hiei, who's like, oh, you've got a rating system for demons? Rate me. This is like, ugh. I don't like it. I mean, I do like it. It's a very Hiei thing to do. And in context, it makes all of the sense that it would be like, how do I stack up against the rest of the demons? I must be super S-class, right? And everybody's like, edgelord bro, you're like a B-class. If you didn't have Dragon of the Darkness Flame, you'd be like a D-class, but you captured this giant dragon beast, and so you're pretty powerful now. And Hiei goes, fuck all y'all, and walks away. But before he walks away, we get a significant added layer of emotional content, morality, perspectives, principles, and moral stakes between him and Kuwabara. And it's really cool. Because why have Kuwabara and Hiei been at each other's throats this whole time? Well, Kuwabara calls him shorty and short stuff and short stack and things like that. And Hiei's like, you're a dumb idiot. That's like pretty much the extent of their relationship. Now what? Now Hiei's like, this is your world. It's not my world. I don't want to defend it. I've fought with you guys because I was forced to. I'm not going to go fight with you now. I'm going to go do Hiei's Noir adventures in the city on my own. Fuck all y'all. Right? And Kuwabara goes, you are a coward. Real men help when they're needed. Fucking perspective shift. Big perspective, like difference, right? between these two characters. They're looking at the same events, the same possibilities, and they see completely different outcomes and different like reasons to or not to engage. Helping others has never been a part of Hiei's character. It's not who he is. He'll do it offhand sometimes, but he normally does it because it feeds into his own goal. Any of the help that he put forward during the Dark Tournament was to save his own skin, right? More than anything. And yeah, there are some moments there where we get belief. We're like, Hiei, you wouldn't have done that if you were just trying to save your own skin. You were trying to help everybody else too. And he adamantly denies them. He goes, no, I wasn't. I was trying to save my own skin. I am all about me. What's the difference between these two characters? It's chaos and law, essentially. Pretty much, like, Hiei is fully individualistic. You got your problems. This world is your problems. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. And if these demons come and attack me, then I'll deal with it. Well, but Hiei, we need you to stop the demons. If the demons come, they're gonna kill you too. And you know, it's like that poem. They came for the blank, and I said nothing. They came for the blank, and I said nothing. They came for the blank, and I said nothing. And then eventually they came for me, and no one was left to speak up for me. You're fucked. You're gonna be fucked, Hiei. More importantly, though, like, the world will end is not a stake that Hiei cares about. He's like, okay, cool, I'll be fine. You know what is a stake that Hiei cares about? If they happen to capture a powerful demon with bluish hair who might have the powers that they need for specific reasons, I feel like that might do it. So, I'm gonna eat my hat if Sensui and Mr. Dude in boat who just sits there and meditates. Fucking awesome, by the way. So cool. I'm gonna figure that they're gonna steal Yukina and try and force her to chop up the barrier thing, because then Hiei will have to come back. That's just a guess. I don't know if it's true, but I would guess that. The other guess that I would have is, like, if they utilize Hiei to chop the barrier, because it makes sense with his ability to cut things, and he's powerful, but also the whole, like, clairvoyance thing that other demon had going on, maybe the Jiganai would qualify, so maybe it'll be something like that. I don't know. Regardless, we get this conversation between Hiei and Kuwabara, and it's excellent.
You're just gonna walk away?
You're just gonna walk away? Also, Kuwabara's voice actor everybody's voice actor kills it in this episode. It's super good.
I don't intend to hinder your cause.
I'm not gonna fight you, but I'm not gonna help either. Full individualism, full chaos.
Coward!
With venom in his voice. Coward. Not just, you're being a coward. Coward. Fucking you. You are a coward and you've lost my respect. Whoa. Kuwabara withdrawing lines in the sand.
Save that idealism for your fairy tales.
Classic edgelord stuff. People don't really help other people. Rawr. I'm gonna go off and listen to sad music in the corner. Rawr. All right, bud. Cool. I'll be over here socializing, you know, helping other people because they step in and save my ass when I need it too. Gonna keep doing that because that's been working for me. All right. Okay, we introduced the new squad. No one goes home. No one leaves the group. We are fully undercover. Also, your parents are going to be real worried about you. Also, your siblings and girlfriends and stuff are going to be real worried about you. Let's just not tell them. Oops. Okay, then we turn our attention here to Weird Cave Place. Fully just reminds me of the sequence in The Incredibles where there's like a lava thing and it like parts, and I think Syndrome like walks through it. Super dope.
How's it coming?
This is the coolest setting. This setting is so dope. There's a dude in a boat surrounded by candles with no oars, just sitting in the middle of a pool of golden light, meditating. That is my spirit animal. I want to be that, except not evil.
Sensui.
Also, his voice actor.
Mr. Sensui. We have an obstacle.
So breathy. Mr. Sensui, I don't even know why he does that. Okay, so it is at this point where I need to know who Sensui's voice actor is, and I also need to know who this dude's voice actor is. Do we know this guy's name? I might not even be able to find it.
Itsuki.
Itsuki. God damn it, emphasize your words properly. It's Itsuki. Okay. Jerome 57, aka Brandon Bristow, plays this character. I'm going to look through his list. I see some things on his list that I recognize. Yeah, no idea. Real name, Brandon Bristow. Been in a number of things that I've seen, but he doesn't have, like, listings of the person that he was. Yeah, other characters in Full Metal Alchemist, some stuff like that. Great. Who plays Sensui? Because he sounds really familiar, and I don't have like a voice in my brain that I think he is. So let me just look. Okay, I believe it is Robert McCollum. Who are you? He plays Hero Killer Stain, which is fucking awesome, and I remember being a great performance. He is Son Goten in Dragon Ball Kai and Z, Oda Nobunaga in Drifters. Still looking for something that really, like, tracks with my mind. He plays Shinya Kogami in Psycho-Pass. The English dub, of course. That tracks. He plays Reiner Braun in Shingeki no Kyojin. He also plays Gridman in Gridman. Cool. He is a fucking lot of people. And he's really good in this role. I just wanted to say that he's really good in this role as Sensui. I kind of felt like he would be somebody that I would recognize more, but maybe not.
Mr. Sensui.
I love this little scratchy, like, super cool.
Tell me.
A Kakai barrier, so strong it's entire.
Okay, can't break the barrier. We're gonna need somebody else who can break the barrier. Also, I love his response to this, which is just like, no problem. I will find the thing that you need with my assets. I have all kinds of things and all kinds of forces that I can bring to bear.
Someone who can break a Kakai barrier. Very well, I know people. I'll find your man.
Very well, I know people. I'll find what you need. No hesitation, just like, I am fully confident that I will be able to accomplish this goal. This is nothing in the grand scheme of our operations. We will achieve our plans regardless. I'm just stealing this character now. This type of hardcore calm and collected. I know exactly which character in my world is this guy. Also a revolutionary, also has his own moral framework, also, like, is leading a group of people that are considered evil or outcasts by most, is also hyper confident, and most importantly is hyper competent and can back it up. This guy I am stealing, and I'm just stealing you, and you're in my world now. And yep, I've really been struggling with how I will characterize one of my villains, who may or may not be a villain as we go along. We'll see how it plays out. But there's this character who's, like, almost certainly going to come to cross purposes with my player characters. The PCs are going to get involved in a hunt throughout the city for a stolen cache of gold, a lot of money. And this character is also going to be hunting for that cache of gold with many more resources than our PCs can bring to bear. But he's doing it for his own reasons. And those reasons might not be entirely wrong or anything. But if the PCs want the gold, they're going to have to fight with him. And he's not somebody to be trifled with. I'm just going to steal Sensui because I've been struggling with how will this guy act. He's hyper competent and hyper confident. He takes everything in stride. He believes in his mission and his goals, but also he believes in his underlings a lot. Like, he puts his faith in them, and he's a genuinely good leader. and a scarily good leader. So I've been like, how do I make this character feel real? Well, thanks, Togashi. You did it. Gotta mention that Sensui as an individual reminds me pretty strongly of Meruem in terms of introduction, right? When we meet Meruem, spoilers for Hunter x Hunter, if you have not watched Hunter x Hunter, don't listen to the next minute or so. You know the name Meruem, and that's all you get. When we meet Meruem, Meruem is utterly confident, the most powerful entity, blah, 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 blah. He's also extraordinarily confident and confident in his allies. He looks at the other CAs and is like, go, do my bidding, and trust that they will. And pretty much they do. They're really competent too. But that trust in his people, until it, and you know, as long as it's justified, is an important part of what makes Meruem a believably good ruler, right? It's really cool. Ooh, I like this villain a lot. I like him a lot. I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I love it. Okay. And then Pooh flies around and Keiko is worried. Yeah. Let's go, Girl Squad. Bow, bow. I mean, yeah, you guys are awesome. You go do it. Fade out. Spooky people. Spooky other squad. Spooky everything. Interesting. I freaking love this episode. There are a lot of episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho that I have said that I love. A lot of them I love because of cool direction and cool art, and like neat animation by Atsushi Wakabayashi and certain other people. Neat direction by Shinbo and some of the other people some of the other episodes are also really cool. This episode has pretty much none of those things. It's not the most stylistically awesome. It's not the most, it's got zero action in it. None. The closest that we come to action are still frames of destruction of cities by demon hordes. That's the closest we come to action in this episode. It's not there. What makes this episode interesting? Interesting exposition, extraordinarily good characterization, and fully recharacterization of a bunch of our people. In ways that makes them more interesting and makes their relationships with each other more interesting. I dig it. I dig that a lot. It's powerful stuff. Okay. I've got 2 hours on the clock for recording for one episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, which is too much. I'm sure that'll be cut down a little bit because there are some breaks in between when I went and looked stuff up and things like that. Hot damn, this is a good episode. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to picking up next week where we left off here. For now, I'm going to wrap. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Yu Yu Hakusho episode 71. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week when we watch the next couple of episodes, unless the next episode is utterly bonkers good like this one was, and then maybe we'll just watch one, but probably we'll be watching two. This is an odd circumstance. But I hope to catch you next week for that. If you want next week's episodes a little bit earlier, you can get those on the Patreon. You can find that in the description, as well as access to the Discord to chat about stuff and gawk over cool animation and things. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for more Yu Yu Hakusho. Peace.